Hi people, I'd like to do a video of the tutorial of Happy Christmas War is Over. I'll talk about the rhythm in the song, I'll talk about the different chords and a little bit of theory about the chords. Okay, so first of all let's start with the rhythm. So let's mute the strings and concentrate on the rhythm. The song is in 3/4 time, so there's 3 beats to every bar, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the way he plays it is he goes down, down, up, like this. So what I'm doing there is the first stroke is a down, down, then you come up without playing, then you go down, up, striking the strings. So let's do that a little bit faster. And then you practice that and try to get faster at it, and eventually you play it at the speed that the song is in, which is about this speed. So that rhythm is played throughout the song. Now I'll go over the chords. The basic chords are these: A, B minor, A. Then it goes to D, E minor, then it goes to A, and back to D. So you can play the song just like that, but I think it's funner and it sounds better if we add notes to each, certain notes to each chord to give it a bit of color. And let's go over that now. So first of all, I'll just play the notes that are added to the A chord. Okay, so what we're doing there is first we'll play the A chord. The next for one bar, and then for the next bar we play what's called an A suspended 2. And the reason this is called an A suspended 2 is because you're playing a B note on top of the A chord. So basically you lift your ring finger from the A chord and you're playing that open B, and the B is a tone or 2 frets above the A. Therefore it's called a 2. A suspended 2, it just means the 2 note is being played over the A chord. The next chord is an A suspended 4, and the 4 is a D note. So you're playing a D here, you play it with your pinky. So I'll review those 3 so far. A, okay, and then back to the A chord. Okay, then the next chord is B minor. Now this one is a bit trickier because it goes B minor, then you lift your middle finger and you bar the E string and the B string with your index. That's called a B suspended 2. Now that's a C sharp. For the B chord, the 2 note is a C sharp. A tone above B is C sharp. Not C, because there's no semitone between B and C. So you start out with a B minor chord, then you go to the B suspended 2, then you go to the B suspended 4. But I find it easier to just change my whole fingering when I go do that one. So what I do is I bring my index finger up to the 4th fret, and I use my ring finger to play the 5th fret of the B string, which was an E note. And again, the E is the 4th note above the B, so B suspended 4. Back to A, back to the B minor, sorry, B minor chord. So let's repeat that part. 1 bar per chord. When you play this chord, don't play the bottom high E string, because that doesn't belong in that chord. Just play the B string, the G string, and the D string. Okay, now the next chord we go to is the E chord, but you don't start on the E, you actually start on the E suspended 4. And for the E chord, the 4 note is A. So E suspended 4 means an E chord with an A added to it. Then an open E. The next chord is an E suspended 2, and the 2 note on the E chord is F sharp. So this one is a little tricky. It involves a bit of a stretch. Your pinky has to come over here to the 4th fret of the D string. So let's do those 3 chords. Back to the E chord, it ends on the E chord. Okay, the next, and then the next one is just an A, which is what we did at the beginning, so that's... Okay, the next part, and so this is Christmas. Okay, that is going through those chords with the D chord. So it's D, D suspended 2, lift up your middle finger, and you play the open E string. Again, the E is the second note above D, so that's why it's called D suspended 2. Then D suspended 4, your pinky presses the G note on the E string, which is on the 3rd fret, and then back to the D chord, so that goes. Then we go to the E minor chord. Now, usually this is the way an E minor chord is played, but with these fingers, but it's for the notes we have to cover here, it's much easier if you use your 1st and 2nd fingers to finger the E chord. Then you do the E add 9. Again, we're adding the F sharp. That's the 2nd note above E, so that makes it an E add 9. Then the E suspended 4. It's easiest to do that with your ring finger over here on the A note. Then back to the E minor. So that goes like this. Okay, the next one after that is A. We've gone over the A. But this time you start on the A suspended 4. So you start it over here with your pinky on the D note. A suspended 2. Okay, and then back to D. D suspended 2. D suspended 4. D. Then we go into that bridge part. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, so that's just G, A, let's hope it's a good one, E minor, G without any fear, D, and then the transition chords right at the end there is E suspended 4 to E or E7, either one. Then you go into the verses again, and you do all the chords that we've already mentioned. One thing I want to say about the lyrics is that in the 2nd verse, after he says the rich and the poor ones, he says, to my hearing, it sounds like he says the road is so long. And a lot of the tablatures in the ultimate guitar, for some reason, say the world is so wrong, but I don't think that's what he says. Okay, and just the last thing is then right at the end, John Lennon sings what all along the Harlem Boys Choir has been singing. So he ends it like this. Okay, that pretty well covers the whole song, and I hope you had the patience to follow everything that I said, and hope you learned something and you enjoy playing the song.